Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean, this is the Game Room, and unexpectedly we're doing one more painting video for the Babylonian Union for Interceptor. Why? Well, because I'd already painted the first video was the 9th ship, and there's 10, so I had one more, so I figured, what the heck, let's do it again. I'm going to try doing it a different, same color scheme, everything. I'm just going to do it in a different order and see if that makes anything better or makes life a little easier. So this is our ship that we're going to paint, and this is the last one. This whole section here is all going to be yellow, just following the box art for that guy, the Sirocco. So you can see he's got the blue cockpit, a couple of metal pieces which we'll just paint right over the green, but the yellow is all that. So just to follow along, the yellow will be inside here, all of this, with this being blue. Now, I don't know if you can see it, there's really thin cockpit window right there. That's going to be really tough to get unless we do the blue first. So we are going to do that. We're going to do the blue first. So magic blue is first up, and we don't need a whole lot, but let's just go ahead and get the cockpit done. Alright, I'll do my best to keep us on the screen this time. So again, let's get it in there, and all I'm doing here is I'm just, it's what do you call it, recessed. So all I'm doing is really just pushing the paint into the corners. Very easy to do. And as you can see, I did get a little bit out, but that's what we have our gray sear for, because it's going to be necessary over here. Alright, so now while that is drying, I'm going to move on to, I need to get the gray sear. We're going to go ahead and touch that up before we attempt to do anything else. But you can see this, it dries pretty quick. In fact, you probably just watched it dry right there. And again, I'm going to flatten my brush because I don't want to mess up the blue. Alright, so now we will move on to what's next. Yellow. Maize yellow is our next color. And again, these are all the Army Painter Speed Paint 2s. I really like the Army Painter Speed Paint 2 line. Works really well. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my regiment brush, which if you've watched my videos, you see me use this one a lot. And let's start doing the yellow. And I hope you can tell I am not, in previous videos I speed this part up. I'm not speeding this one up. I didn't speed the last one up either. Just to kind of show you how fast, you know, just some simple techniques in the Army Painter Speed Paint, you can get your whole forest painted up. So hopefully all goes well. And the only time I'll actually stop the video will be to let everything dry for the wash. Or actually to let the wash dry. Alright, let's go back to take a quick look at our box art. I'll get my lid out of the way. You know what? It's going to be green around the back. Oh well, I painted it yellow. We'll fix that with the green. And in fact, since I have the gray sear out, I'm going to... See, I painted this back here yellow. It's going to be green. So, since I still have some gray sear, well, I thought I did. We're going to go back over that. Good enough, the green will cover it. Alright, the next thing is actually going to be that green. And that is Shamrock Green. And this we cover pretty much everything else. And I paint the whole bottom green also. I don't, unless the ship gets flipped over. I mean, to me, I'm just putting a color on the bottom. I'm not spending any time detailing anything on the bottom. It's really just, I don't know why you would. Now as we get close to our yellow, we want to be careful. Hopefully I didn't get any on the top. I did right there. We'll need to touch that up just a little bit. Alright. I think that's it for the green. Need a new piece of foam here. I think I'm putting too many holes in this one. And then the next color is going to be our broadsword silver, which we're going to hit the other, or all the, look back at our, there it is, the different pieces you've got. I'm going to lightly hit those just to color the tops, and then we've got the three pieces there, the engines in the back, and the guns here in the front down the side. So let's get to it. Alright, so now I am actually going to have to pause the video here because where I need to paint that green is still wet. So I'm going to pause right there. And I'll be back as soon as that's dry, because that's down in the crevices, so it's going to take a little bit longer to dry. And you know what? Well, let's just see. I'm going to paint everything else that I need to first, since we're here. So like we have these guns here in the front. And these right here, you don't want a lot of the paint on your brush, because you really just kind of want to, not quite a dry brush, but that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to show that those are metallic. All right. Let's look at our box art. Oh, right there. Box art shows we got those, and those. And a little more down the side on the guns. All right, what the heck. Let's do it. Now, keep in mind, you can paint your ships any color you want. Do not think you have to follow the box art or anybody else's. Your ships, you paint them how you want. Now, and with that, I think that's done. Now, I want to do the engines. So let me just show you where the engines are. We're getting on 21 minutes here. So underneath the engines, I'm going to hit them with a little bit of the gray sear real quick, and those are right here. This is not necessary. This is just because, and it's not dry. Fish that little bit of paint out of there, and get a little more grace here, just to allow our yellow and orange to show up. Okay. Now I'm going to hit that with the yellow. Now we're going to put a little dot of the Fire Giant Orange in there just to give it a little bit of color. And it's okay if it's not dry and it blends in, because it's representing the flame coming out of the thrust. So here we go. All right, now we're going to have to stop and just let this dry. Anywhere else needs to be touched up? You know what? On the back of that engine, looks like it just needs a little bit more. I can still see some green where it got hit with the green. Alright, everything else looks okay. Alright, and with that, we are going to call her done, except we still need to do the wash. So I got to let everything dry, so that's going to take a few minutes. I will be back, and then we will apply the wash. Alright, now we have the wash. Again, this is dark tone, 10 drops to 3 drops water. So if you're doing a whole batch, you'll want to, 20 drops to 6, etc., etc. But do whatever works for you. I like this ratio. It seems to cover well and not make the models too dark. And then we're just going to hit the entire model with this. Again, with the washes, don't let it pool. You don't want it to get it all over, but don't you don't want it to pool in one spot. Otherwise, if it dries like that, you're gonna have big dark spots, and it's probably not necessarily what you're looking for. But we'll go back and we'll clean that up. Right now, we're just trying to get it on all over. Alright, now once you're sure you have everything covered, that's when you'll want to dry your brush off, and then start taking off where it's pooling. Like I don't want that much. Letting gravity do the work, it pulls it way down here. And if you just touch it with a dry brush, now I do want it to fill in the lines, I just don't want it to pool. All right, I think that's pretty good. Let's do a little bit off, more right there. Now this we will need to let sit for some time, because that is going to take a little while to completely dry. Try to make sure it's as level as possible. Let it dry. And I'll be back shortly. Alright, and there it is. All done. So it took a little longer than the last one. We're at about 28 minutes, but there you go. You can see the whole group now. And hey, I'm going to pause and I'm going to move the camera. Alright, and there you can see the entire squadron. All 10 ships, the one we just did and the one from the previous video. And there you go. They look pretty stinking good from, you know, you're going to be playing, you're going to be a few feet away. I go for 3-foot tabletop distance. Sorry about the shake there. But, you know, it is what it is. They look pretty good. And, you know, again, all things, being what they are. And it's just, you know, you can get them done very quickly. So again, you know, this one was 28 minutes. The previous one was 24-ish minutes. You know, you get a couple done in an hour. You could do them all in a couple evenings. Or if you conveyor belt them, you know, hey, I'm going to do all the yellow, then I'm going to do all the, I'll do all the blue, then I'll do all the yellow, then I'll do all the green. You can get them done in, just a few hours. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope you're enjoying this series of videos, and I hope you're trying out Interceptor. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun, and the ships are really super cool. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit those little buttons down below. It really does help. And it gives me encouragement to continue to do these videos because they're fun. I like doing them. And hopefully you're learning something from it. So, anyway, thanks for watching. As always, have a wonderful evening. God bless. Goodbye now.